Okay, let's see. Is this thing on? Yeah. So if you're watching this video, I've been pretty much thinking about certain topics of what to write or present to y'all, and I thought about something that maybe I had experience on, and it was over a jeepney ride when I was back in Davao. And I'm only gonna speak from my experiences because this is from what I know. But um, I don't know if I'm going to be posting any more videos coming up soon. I know I got back from traveling, and um, I'm going to be going somewhere in the future where I can't post videos, but we'll see what's up. Alright, so this video is going to be um, over riding a jeepney. Alright, and I'm just going to teach you some stuff that I thought was very helpful when I was riding a jeepney, and maybe can be helpful for you. Anyway, so the title of this one that I put was Sige, vamos na, sakay ta sa jeepney, right? Sige, vamos na, sakay ta sa jeepney. So instead of vamos na, sometimes you'll hear tana or adto na ta, which means let's go, come on, let's go. Vamos, coming from that Spanish word vamos, vamos, let's go. Some stuff that you could learn, like I put some of these vocabulary words that you can learn, right? So the first set would be like the words of motion or verbs that you can use. Like anha, anhi, anha, anhi. Anha meaning to go there, to a faraway place. Anha, anhi meaning to come here or to go here, wherever you are, here, in relation to where you are, right? People in Cebuano will say anha din ha, means go over there, as in like a imperative command form. If I'm talking to you and you only, no one else but you, I can say anha din ha, go there. The opposite would be anhi din hi, come here, right? You can't really smash those two, but anhi din hi, come here. Anha din ha, go there. Apas means to pass by or to follow up or to catch up to a place or an area. Padulong means to arrive to a place or to go to a place, and adto just means to go, right? Our universal adto, right? And remember, if you can manage to put these in conjugated verb in a sentence, for example, moapas ba ka sa wherever, wherever. Moapas ba ka sa simbahan? Are you gonna pass by the church? You see, and that's why I'm teaching you all these words, so that way you can you can gain your knowledge and express yourself a little more. I already gave you the tools, the grammar lessons, so I'm thinking about doing this little topic that can help you. So again, we have anha, anhi, right? Mo anha ba ka sa merkado? Are you going to go to the market, right? Maapas ba ka sa palengke? Are you gonna pass by the market? Padulong ka sa I don't know, sa eskwelahan. Padulong ni sa eskwelahan. Is this going to the school, right? And that's just like for asking directions in motion, right? And the next set I have is when you're actually in the Jeep. You'll hear things that maybe you might be familiar with. So in a Jeep, if you've ever ridden one, right, you have seats on both sides of the Jeep, left and right side, right? Lingkod means to sit, right? Lingkod. And you know how earlier in another video I said lingkoranan, that D, remember that D changes to a R when we have that assimilation after it's been conjugated, right? Isbog means to move. So sometimes, or to scoot, in this manner it means to scoot over. So sometimes when the Jeep is starting to get full, you need to scoot over to make room for other passengers, mga pasahero, the other passengers. And sometimes the jeepney driver or the person that's helping the jeepney driver collect the payments would say, isbog daw, isbogi, isbogi, right? He conjugates it in the imperative form, isbogi, right? That E at the end, and you should already know that from another video. Isbogi daw, isbogi, right? He's telling you to move over or to scoot over, Balhin means to move. It just means to move. So you can move to a house, you can move to another place, you can move to a different seat. Balhin, right? Balhin dinhi, right? Move here. Para, if you say para to the driver, para means to stop. It's from that Spanish word parar, meaning to stop, but para is that imperative form, and that imperative form also got carried over in Cebuano. Para. Para lang, para, para. It means just to stop because your stop is coming by. And lugar lang is another word or another phrase you can say. Lugar lang, which means literally it means place only, because lugar meaning a place, and lang just means only whatever you just said, right? Nothing but whatever you just said. So lugar lang. And that's also another way you can say para, which is also more common to use in Davao. Lugar lang. But those are words that you can use to if you want the vehicle to stop moving so you can get off. Para lang dira, lugar lang dira. You'll hear those too. Dira, you have to get yourself accustomed to hearing the directional words and all that stuff. So it will help you out, because sometimes people ride the jeepneys. They're coming from different socioeconomic backgrounds, and because of that, they also have their own idiolects of this Cebuano language, right? So you'll hear like a provincial kind of dialect of Cebuano, and at the same time, you might also hear a more educated form of Cebuano at the same time, a more educated dialect of Cebuano, and then you'll just get accustomed to that. So, I've heard a lot. I've heard lugar lang dira. I've heard para lang, so para palihog, lugar lang palihog, they put a please in there. Palihog meaning please, right? Which takes us to this next one. Palihog meaning please, right? Bayad means pay or payment. Bayad. When you're at the Jeep, right, you can pass along your payments, your cash, or coins, whatever, up along the front. If you're sitting towards the end of the Jeep, towards the rear, people will notice that you have payment, and then you can just hand it on to the people, and they'll pass on that payment to the front eventually. So just pass on the money to the front. Bayad, and you can just say that, hey, I want to pay, here's my fare, right? And you just pass it on to the people. Or sometimes if there's someone that is helping the jeepney driver, you can just pay him, and he'll take in the payment as well. So bayad, right? And if you want to make the payment, you just say bayad palihog, right? And you just hand it over to whoever's responsible for it. Cambio meaning change. Cambio, again, coming from that Spanish borrowed term cambiar, meaning to change. So cambio means change, as in like your loose change. It can also mean just change in general, cambio, right? Sencillo means something similar as well too, like coin change, loose coin change. They're both coming from the Spanish borrowed words, sencillo and cambio, meaning change in that manner. So if you paid too much, don't forget to ask for cambio. Asa nga akong cambio? Where's my change, right? So those are just some things that you could use to help you. And just down here, I just wrote some stuff that maybe might be interesting, So the first sentence is tag 7 pesos, or sometimes people just drop off pesos, right? Tag 7 ra para sa mga estudyante, wa pa ko gani og 5, right? It's only 7 pesos for students. And that's the first part of the sentence. The second part, wa pa ko gani og 5, I don't even have 5. So it's only 7 for students, but I don't even have 5. So wa pa ko gani og 5. Remember that enclitic particle gani that I talked about? It means even. I don't even have 5. Wa pa ko gani og 5? It's kind of like our little version of that kind of expression of disgust or a scoff, And the last one is, uy, ate, ang akong cambio. Like, because this happened to me once. I was a student when I was riding a Jeep, and I paid too much. So back then, I don't know now, but it's probably still the same. I paid, to be a student, you pay only 7 pesos. But I think I gave her a 10 peso coin, and I didn't get my change back. So I said, uy, ate, ang akong cambio. Now I said ate because the driver was female. Right? Ate kuya, that kind of term of endearment exists a lot in among the Cebuano speaking community, and you'll hear that a lot with taxi drivers. You'll hear that being addressed to them. You'll hear that being addressed to jeepney drivers, and you'll just get the hang of when to use it, when not to use it. Because sometimes if they're a little older, I wouldn't say ate or kuya. I'd say something like manong, manang, something like that, more respectful, right? Um, but yeah, don't forget when you're going to be using these words up here as well to conjugate the word correctly, because sometimes, let's say bayad gets, you might get it conjugated differently. Like if you want to say I'm going to pay you, you don't say bayadan taka. You have to change that d like in linggo to an r, bayaran taka, right? I know that can be a little problematic sometimes, but you'll get the hang of it when you fine tune your own grammar. All right. But try using some of these if you're in the Philippines, and if you're in a Cebuano speaking area. These are really good verbs that you can help and try to practice conversation and conjugate and initiate a conversation.